Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bells every time I drop a video. You will be the first to know about it. Well, this story has been going on in the news for the past few days, and it's a sad story and a mentally disturbing story. I know y'all probably seen this about a young mom who was seen in Walmart about 10 o'clock in the morning, just shopping for groceries in the frozen food aisle with her son, who couldn't be no more than 1 or 2 years old. But her son had on nothing but a diaper, and that was it. You might think, hey, what's the problem? No, you couldn't think that. You couldn't think that. Hell no. But anyway, what makes matters worse, let's put it in that perspective. The mom had on some pants, or like leggings, a sweater, some boots, and a bonnet. What makes matters even worse is that day they said the temperature in that city was 20 degrees. Wind chill factor, it might be 10 degrees, might feel like 10 degrees. And you got your child out with no clothes on, but a diaper. Well, let's get into the story, because I'm gonna give my take on this. And if anybody has a problem with my take, then that is a serious problem. This is from New York Post, and it reads, family of woman arrested after taking baby only wearing diaper into Walmart in freezing temperature speaks out. Now, the family spoke out, and fam, this is where the problem lies. We condone, try to cape for this inappropriate behavior. Sometimes it's better to not say a thing. There's an old saying that the old wise man I used to work with used to say, it's one thing to be thought of as ignorant, it's another to open your mouth and remove all doubt. This is one of those circumstances. The family of a Mississippi woman arrested for child abuse after taking her toddler shopping at Walmart with only a diaper on during freezing temperatures says she is a good mom. I'm sure she is. They usually are good kids. You know, the ones that rob, steal, shoot up each other, die, gang bang, all this kind of stuff. First thing their mama say is, the family say is, he was a good guy. They were a good kid. Had dreams of being an artist, going to college, being a police officer, things of that nature. Anyway, Cambria Gabrielle Darby, 26, was charged with child neglect after police received a call to the store about 10:30 a.m. on January 17 and found the mother in the parking lot, according to WJTV. Darby's confrontation and rant inside the store went viral after the video was posted by a Walmart employee who was subsequently fired. And we may get into that here at the end, which is kind of weird, but hey, I guess store policy is store policy, I believe. But that's, even when doing right, they say no good deed goes unpunished. But Darby's great aunt, Marie Darby Pickens, 69, who lives in Jackson, Mississippi, where Cambria and many of her relatives reside, Mississippi, says she has never seen evidence of Cambria being a bad mother. She also says she did not use drugs. How do you know that? How do you know your daughter doesn't use drugs? How do you know she don't pop a pill every now and then? How do you know she don't, smoke a blunt here and there, partake? You don't know that. I mean, if you look hard enough, you could, but you don't know what she's doing. Quote, everything I've seen with her and the kids have been positive. Pickens, a retired social worker. So there's some things you should see off the bat. Pickens, a retired social worker, told the Post, I don't condone what was done, and it was right to be reported. Okay, that's your social worker talking. But we don't know both sides of the story. What are both sides of the story? You got an adult and a kid who can't fend for themselves. There is no both sides. What you see is what you get. Sometimes kids can be difficult, not wanting to put their clothes on or taking them off, and maybe she was in a rush to pick up some things. I'm kind of wondering, were you retired, or did they just let you go from your social worker job? Because there's no way in hell that came out your mouth. Let's break this down. Sometimes kids can be difficult not wanting to put their clothes on or taking them off, and maybe she was in a rush. Okay. You got a child where's the father at? That's number one. Because if the father is there, if a man is there, grandfather, father, whoever, great uncle, whatever, if he's there and it's a little boy, if the little boy run through the house, act like he don't want to put his clothes on. Oh, the man ain't gonna let that happen. Not in the least. Now, if it's a girl, he won't let it happen either, but he'll be a little more gentle, may not fuss, but, kind of use his strength to put the clothes on, talk to her, may offer her a doll or some candy or something, but he ain't gonna let that happen. But there's no way in hell I'm gonna take a kid out the house with no clothes on in any temperature in a diaper. Is you crazy? And I'm fully dressed too. And she said she may was in a rush to pick up something. You ain't that big of a hurry. Because doggone, it's 10 o'clock and you buying looking like French fries or tater tots, skillet sensations. You ain't that big of a hurry. So this reminds me of, I used to work at this facility a few years ago, and it was a young lady who had a daughter, maybe like 6, 7, 8 years old. Maybe I don't think she was that old, but maybe about 6, 7 years old, maybe 5, I don't know. And when she would come to work, she would bring a daughter with her. And every time she bring a daughter with her, she would have like fast food for a child. We're like, man, that's all you feed your child is fast food. And she was like, she won't eat nothing else. Like, won't eat nothing else? How in the hell she won't eat nothing else? What you mean? Try to feed her this and the third, and she won't eat. All she wants is these whatever French fries and nuggets. I said, oh, that's right. You're right. She paying the bills, right? Right. She bought that food, right? She introduced herself to this fast food. And she's like, no. I said, so how does she even know that this fast food exists? That's my thing. You try to make your job easier as a parent, and there's no such thing. You have to understand there's no such thing as easy parenting. No kid is the same. Kids gonna be bad. Kids are gonna rebel. Kids gonna get hungry. Kids gonna get tired, whatever. But they can't control the situation. They cannot control the situation. They can't. They're too young. Their mind is not developed. So if your kid only eats French fries and nuggets from a fast food place, that means you're not making food at home. You're not taking the time to get up, prepare a meal so your child can eat, so they won't know what this fast food is at a young age, to the age of 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can't sit here and say kids are difficult. Kids are only difficult if you allow them to be. Again, there's no way in the world I think the baby like might be walking, so a 2-year-old. There's no way in the world a 2-year-old. I'm gonna give him that, give her that, give or take. Is gonna dictate how they look walking in the house. And to say the kid looked like he was crying and cold and everything else. A 2-year-old, now you might do a 10, 12-year-old, make him walk out the house with no coat. You want to act a fool or whatever. Hell, leave him at home. And don't bring nothing back. But anyway, Pickett says Cambria brought her 3 kids to see the 92-year-old great-grandmother when she was dying, and she acted very appropriate, and so did the kids. I'm not saying there's an underlying mental health issue in her case, but you need to find out her story. What she did show poor judgment, certainly, and it's very unfortunate because one incident like this can ruin a life. Okay, so she got 3 kids. Where are the other 2? Probably at school. Other 2 probably at school, but this one. So let me play devil's advocate. You're in a rush, take the kids to school, but it's 10:30 now. No, they got called by 10 something. Okay, so you're in a rush, take the kids to school, and the little baby acting the fool, running around the house, won't let you dress him, so you run out the house. So you say, hey, we gotta go. So you run out the house, take him out in a diaper. You're probably thinking, hey, I'm gonna put him in the car, turn the heat on, he'll be okay, right? But then you get out in the streets, and you're like, dang, wait a minute, we ain't got nothing to eat. Let me go run and grab something to eat. God, I gotta take him out the store. Well, if I run in the store with him, he'll be okay. You try to rationalize the behavior, but what causes in the beginning? For some reason, you didn't just throw something. Maybe his clothes wasn't washed, right? Maybe he didn't have, maybe his clothes weren't washed. So you're like, man, I ain't got, dang, all his clothes are pissing. and they ain't put them in the washing machine or they ain't dry yet. God, and I gotta go. Maybe that did happen. And then you dropping people off and this and the third. Well, you know what you could have done? You got the Walmart. Well, I don't know now because I ain't had no baby in a while. Walmart used to have some pretty reasonably priced clothes for little ones. You could have took that baby to the Dollar General, ran in there, grabbed a pair of sweatpants, t-shirt. You could have ran to Walmart and grabbed a pair of pants, t-shirt, threw it on them real quick, took the tags up front and paid for it. There's a lot of things you could have done. You have to think outside the box, but ignorance is not one of them. It says Cambria's mother, Lakeisha Darby, so her mama's still around, okay, hung up on a post reporter who heard the sound of young kids in the background. Mama probably got the kids, and this girl got a lot of hair too. Yeah, Cambria got a lot of hair. You think they'd be smarter. Shout out to Samson in the Bible. Lakeisha later text the family hopes to return back to their life prior to the incident and will have no further comment. The Walmart employee, whose real name is Felicia Darling, began recording the video after watching the mother appropriately dressed in a 20-degree temperature outside in a sweater, pants, and boots, put the diaper-clad toddler in a cool shopping cart, according to WLBT. Several shoppers at the Byram, Mississippi location confronted Darby as she made her way through the store, stopping at one of the freezer aisles. So you went from bad to worse even. And Tall seen a bag of frozen vegetables, which hit the shivering child. That baby daddy must have pissed you off. That's probably what happened. Probably got mad at the baby daddy. And what's funny, you look at the picture and right behind is a bunch of clothes. She was let out on bond conditions ordered by the Hinds County Youth Court, according to another shopper at the Walmart. Put some clothes on the shivering child while his mother scrolled her phone nearby. You see what I'm saying? She didn't even stop the woman. So my thing is, she might be going through some things financially. She might be buying food with a EBT card, maybe, and she didn't have no one to watch her child. She didn't have no money to buy clothes. Understood. Okay, I'll give her that. But it's got to be ways, because the woman that bought her child some clothes is a heavy set elderly black woman on one of motor scooters, so she can't get around, so she probably can barely afford the clothes herself, but she understand priority. You understand priority. I tell you this, maybe your child clothes were dirty and weren't clean. Throw them on. Don't matter. Hey, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You got to get out, put them on. It's all right. You can smell like piss for a few hours, but if you got things to do, then you come back and you wash. Let's say EMS was called. The toddler was later released to approved relative, which is probably the mom. After she was released from jail, Darby took to social media as predicted, and defended her actions and the way she parented her child. I have pics of every meal I've cooked them as proof of her parenting fitness. Huh? The deformation of character is hurting my heart. The deformation, not defamation, deformation of character is hurting my heart, she wrote in a 656-word Facebook post viewed by the Daily Mail. What the hell is that them kids eating and a kid being naked got anything to do with the price of tea in China? Darby compared her treatment inside of Walmart last week to Jesus. Oh, this heifer got mental issues, seriously. They did Jesus the same way. He felt sick to his stomach as well. He didn't want to go through it. Man, shut up. Man, you know what? I'm done. There are some people who aren't fit to be parents. Sometimes you might go through some things. And yes, I understand parenting is hard. Hell, what I'm saying? We've all been parents. If you got issues, sometimes you need to take a break. Sometimes you need that support group. When you make choices, everything you do, you have to have an educated, thought out choice. As when you're young, you do things and you don't always think them through. You just don't. And I understand that. But some things you just gotta use common sense. And your number one priority is preservation of life. That's what we do in the nursing field, in the first responder field. It's preservation of life, keeping people safe and out of harm's way. That's your first priority. If you had to think of it on extremes, the human body can survive without food for 7 days. Probably longer than that. No, without water for 7 days. I'm sorry. Human body can survive without water for 7 days. Without food, weeks at a time. If it came down to it. So what I'm saying is, at that moment, did you really have to go to Walmart if your child had no clothes? Did you have to go to the frozen food section and buy some vegetables and some tater tots at that moment? Or did you just want to do it because you didn't feel like going back out? And you said, let me go and knock it out right now because I don't feel like going back out. Did you not think ahead of time? But that family member justifying this, that's the problem with our community. Justifying bad behavior and not holding people accountable. It's best, like I say, not to say a thing. Don't say a word, just let it ride. And then you can discuss it with her and speak on it behind doors. But in public, you shouldn't say a word. You know what I'm saying? Be there to support your family member, of course. But again, you figure out the problem behind it and you try to fix the situation so it don't happen again. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace. Don't forget marlonmorelli.com for all your luxurious accessories. And I'll see you on the other side.